just asking for a friend here, but did Meghan Markle leak this story about supporting Brooklyn Beckham to sabotage Victoria Beckham? Let's put it this way. There were only 4 people at that meal. Megxit, Hazza, Brooklyn Beckham, and his wife. Let's put it this way. Don't think Brooklyn Beckham and his wife would have leaked this story, do you? Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because I'm just asking for a friend here, but did Meghan Markle leak this story about supporting Brooklyn Beckham and his wife, Nicola Peltz, as revenge against Victoria Beckham? Because like I said right at the beginning, there were only 4 people at that meal. Megxit, Prince Harry, Brooklyn Beckham, and his wife, Nicola Peltz. Let's put it this way. For some reason, I don't see Brooklyn or Nicola leaking this story to the press. That only leaves 2 people that, as far as a lot of us are concerned, have a history of leaking stories to the press. And that is the gruesome twosome themselves, Hazza and Megxit. And so here, this is being reported by the Daily Mail, saying that Hazza and Megxit are secretly supporting Brooklyn Beckham and his wife Nicola Peltz because of their, quote, similar family feud, sources claim today. Okay, well, they're not secretly supporting Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz, because if they were secretly supporting them, we wouldn't know about it in the first place. It would be a freaking secret. So again, how do we now know about all of this? It could have only come from one of 4 people. And for me, just using a little bit of logic and knowledge as to what's happened in the past when it comes to Hazza and Megxit, yeah, they have a history of divulging information that really shouldn't be out there as far as I'm concerned. I mean, what do you guys think? Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz do not have that history as far as I know. Hazza and Megxit do. Do the math. How do you think this story came out in the media for all us to know that they're now secretly supporting Brooklyn Beckham and his wife Nicola Peltz? Don't be so freaking dumb or naive out there. Seriously. This is insane that this story's out there, that we all know about it, right? But why would Megxit, in this hypothetical theory, leak this story about supporting Brooklyn Beckham and his wife in the first place? We'll get onto that later on in the video, so stay tuned. But apparently the 2 women are said to have had a deep and meaningful chat and share a bond after being accused by critics of being, quote, homewreckers and women who tear apart their husbands' families. They enjoyed, Hazza and Megxit enjoyed a date night at a James Taylor concert in Santa Barbara after going to the Beyonce gig at the weekend, and then had the couple over for dinner at their mansion in Montecito, California in the last couple of weeks. Brooklyn and Nicola apparently live only 90 minutes away from Hazza and Megxit and have said to be receiving unwavering support from the gruesome twosome, who reportedly feel empathetic towards them. The source said, quote, Brooklyn and Nicola had a wonderful time and found Harry and Meghan to be particularly kind, caring and generous. That Megxit has a lot of sympathy for Nicola because both women have been branded homewreckers, insider claiming there was a shared common ground, saying, quote, Nicola and Meghan also had a bit of a deep and meaningful, as obviously both women have been positioned in the media as homewreckers, the women to tear apart their husbands' families. Harry and Meghan were very empathetic and very kind to them both. Harry was fully aware of the situation and offered Brooklyn his unwavering support as someone who has been through something similar. So much detail. How the hell does the media know any of this in the first place, and therefore us? And so here we've got Angela Levin journalist, royal commentator, biographer, turning around on Twitter and saying, quote, "The Sun says Meghan invited Brooklyn and Nicola for a secret mansion summit to discuss toxic family feuds. The thing is, Brooklyn is not telling the world what he feels about his parents, nor does he seem to want money in position. They just didn't want to go to the party. It's a joke if Meghan and Harry recommend what they should do." Exactly. And this just furthers my point as to how this story is out there in the first place. Because Brooklyn Beckham has not, through sources, right, denigrated or slammed his mum and dad and his family. He and Nicola have stayed quiet on the whole thing. All that there's been in terms of this whole Beckham family feud is largely speculation, and that's it. So all of a sudden, all these specific details are coming out. Oh no, lo and behold, who's involved in the story? Megxit and freaking Azza. So yeah, Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz do not have a history of leaking stories to the media. Megxit and Azza, though, definitely do. Here we've got, according to Taz, make sure you subscribe to her on YouTube, saying, "I'm not sure that this is true, but Megxit and Azza are certainly vindictive enough to try to befriend the young couple. Meghan would love to have that type of revenge over David and Victoria. Harry supporting Brooklyn Beckham through a similar family feud." Now, make sure you look in my video history library, because I did do a series of Meghan Markle versus. One of the episodes I did was Meghan Markle versus Victoria Beckham. Now, why would Megxit, in this hypothetical theory, leak a story about supporting Brooklyn Beckham as revenge against Victoria Beckham to try and sabotage her? Well, it's because, if you're to believe the headlines, Megxit feels slighted from Victoria Beckham. There was this headline that came up back in January 2020, over 5 years ago, that Megxit turned on Victoria Beckham. Because when Megxit went to Victoria Beckham to ask for free clothes, Victoria Beckham turned around and said, "No, I don't do that. I'll give my friends and family a significant discount, but I never give free clothes out." How about this right here? Another reason why apparently Megxit is not friendly with Victoria and David Beckham whatsoever. It's because they were totally jealous and angry at the Beckhams' links and close friendships to Princess Catherine and Prince William. But of course, the main one that we all know about that made headlines the world over was allegedly Megxit, right, accusing the likes of Victoria and David Beckham of leaking stories about them. That was the point where allegedly Victoria and David Beckham were like, "Screw these jokers. We know where our bread's buttered. We're Team Royal." And then that was it. That was the end of that friendship, the end of the alliance between the Beckhams and the Sussexes. Game over. So there's already history between Megxit and Victoria, if you're to believe the headlines. There was a great friendship at the beginning, but as with most friendships with Megxit, turned very, very sour at the end, because Megxit allegedly didn't get what she wanted from Victoria Beckham. And now all of a sudden, Megxit and Azza are inserting themselves into the Beckham family feud. So much so that someone leaked this story, because again, there were only 4 people at that meal: Megxit, Azza, Brooklyn Beckham, and his wife, Nicola Peltz. Again, Brooklyn Beckham, Nicola Peltz, and even the whole Beckham family do not have a history of leaking stories. They are very much a never complain, never explain family. They only speak to the media when they really need to. So the question remains, how did the media get a hold of this story? My opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, Megxit leaked it as revenge to sabotage Victoria and David Beckham. But enough about what I think. What do you guys think? With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, of course, there's going to be more. You do not want to miss my next video. Then make sure you subscribe to join our alternate tribe. Like, share, Comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Do you think Megxit leaked this story as revenge against Victoria Beckham? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.